Well, great afternoon to you. Oh, I better change my glasses. Great afternoon to you. I'm really, really grateful to jump out here with you all again because this morning's live fueled some questions. So I'm really grateful to you all that send the questions my way, because unless people ask me things, well, I don't know what they're needing to know, right? So I encourage everybody that listens to these lives to leave in the comments anything that you would like me to speak about. Absolutely anything. Pick a topic, put it out there. I will see it and I will speak about it. It doesn't matter what it is, because I have no shame and I can speak about just about anything. So I invite you all to throw in the comments if you're watching, even on replay, which, yeah, you're probably watching on replay, but drop in the comments absolutely any topic that you would want me to speak about and my opinion on it or whatever. Let's have some fun with this. Absolutely anything. All right, if there was one thing you would want to hear me talk about, what is it? All right? And we'll drop it like that. And I'm curious to see, because there's a lot of people that come and watch the videos, but they don't comment and they don't like it. And there's not a soul that shares it. So at least leave a comment about a topic of discussion, and I will openly and honestly come out here and talk about it. So, a couple of the questions. Okay, so if this is all meant to be an experience, why does our body store emotions in it? Well, because we weren't supposed to live these events and have them making us feel the way that they do. Seriously. When you are born in a state of unconditional love, you are supposed to remain in that state for the rest of your life. And that's your truest power. But we get blocked from it because then we start believing that we are something that we're not. Simple. So it's important to go in there and check what's functioning in your programming, because if it's only meant to be experiences alone that are stored, there's not supposed to be any emotion stored with it, because none of it was supposed to ever be harmful to you. That's why. Source does not create anything harmful. Nothing. This is why it's so important for the reinstallation of the tablets of destiny. What are those exactly? Well, Thoth, who ruled 16,000 years over his people. Well, those are the original tablets of destiny, the emerald tablets, and they are to be reinstalled now. That's it. So, men have had their way, and we all see where it's gotten us. And the refusal and the non-acceptance and the avoidance of fixing it all. Well, that's why people like me have to jump into the world and say, okay, let's do this. Seriously. So it's all good, literally. Okay, so a couple of questions were, how do you do the inner work? Like, how do you prepare yourself for the inner work? Well, you need to be rested. And your body's only going to show you what it thinks you can handle. So for myself, how did I do it? Because that was one of the questions. Well, then, Tobi, how did you do it? Well, you can't tackle it all at once. And that's why I took 7-year chunks every time I tackled inner work. And you really have to write it out. But you can't allow yourself not to see it and feel it for what it is as it's stored in your being. So you have to look at stuff intentionally. And not to alter it right away. You got to look at it and accept it and feel it in order to heal it. Okay? And that's the biggest thing. But yes, you have to allow yourself to relive it and bring it forward in your brain in order for you to feel what that experience actually caused for you internally. But because it is the acceptance of it that gives you the allowance to change it. Because if you don't accept it for what it is stored in your being, you cannot change it. It is one of the laws of the universe. And this is how people get shackled into things that are destructive for them. Because they have these things stored in them. And when you really think of it, if your memories are supposed to be a storage bank that actually assists you with your own guidance, right? Because our bodies are functioning on the law of least effort. Because, hey, the energy coming through us can light up a city. So therefore, hey, the management of the energy throughout your body into your systems has to be done somehow. Well, that's why you have a subconscious brain that you cannot play in. But it's just like when you're in training for situations or certifications or whatever. It's only experience. You're not taking it to heart to cripple you. No matter what happens during it. Well, that's how we're supposed to perceive our life. When we look back on anything in our life, there should be no emotions attached to it. Yes, the experiences will remain there, but the problem with it all is the attachment to the emotions that are stored. Because why it actually imprinted in your brain, the only way that your body stores that is according to the way it made you feel. Why? Because it knows what it has to do to keep you in balance better than you do. So these are quick reference points. So why are things so traumatic for us? Because they are in such opposition to what our soul is truly fueling your existence and your learning to be. That's why. And if our experience is mere experience, every memory that we have according to our experience is either helping us or harming us, according to the stored emotion attached to it. And it's not all bad stuff. There's good stuff too. But if you're, like I mentioned this morning, if you're in a hyper happy state, that's not also good for you either. Because I told you guys this morning, joy, when you feel joy, it doesn't come from your programming and the operation of your bodily functions and your systems. Okay? It doesn't. It comes from your heart. You know what? I'm just going to shut my ringer off right now to avoid that again. Okay? But it's a serious thing. Because just like the information that we seek for knowledge and experience, how we store it in us is the same way we should be able to look at our past. That it does not affect us. That it was all mere experience. Because you can't take any experience away from yourself and expect you to be who you are today. No. It was all a part of getting you to where you are today. All of it. So you know, even when we sit back and look at our life, if we allow any emotion attached to any of our experience, that is to the magnitude that you are not healed. You should be able to freely speak about anything that's happened in your life with no emotion attached to it. That's when you know that you're truly healed from that situation. Literally. The minute you start talking about anything and you start to feel choked up, or you start to feel a tear roll, or you start to feel sad, or you start to feel anxious, or you're still affected by that experience. And that's not even doing the inner work, reliving it. See, that's where the difference lies. And that's how you can really test yourself. You don't need others to be testing you in life. Because there's no competition where there's no comparison. And you're unique. Nobody can compare to you. Literally. There's no two people alike and no two experiences the same. Even if you're next to each other living it together. It's totally different. Literally. So this is why you've got to ask yourself. And when you're dealing with things that have happened in your life, you have to see them and accept them for your truth of it. Not somebody else trying to convince you, oh, it didn't happen like that. Maybe it didn't happen like that for them, but it very much happened like that for you. And it doesn't matter when it comes to family, siblings, anything. It doesn't matter. Everybody is uniquely them with their truth of their experience. According to how their senses perceived and picked up all the data that they were processing in their experience. Now, where the trouble stems from is when people don't realize what's harming them. And it is merely simple, these emotional things that are attached to memories in us. And why is it not valid to you? Because it's stored away. And you only have access to, 5-10% of your brain, max? That's if you're at full capacity. That's if you're tapped into your highest potential of your being. So this is where the problem stems. Is because you're not aware of it because it's not in the front of your brain. It's not supposed to be. It's quick reference points for your body, for management of your body's energy, which, again, I'll remind you, can light up a city. We all think we need hydro. No, we don't. We all think we need devices. No, we don't. We are the devices. And you know what? I'll say it again, too. I mentioned yesterday or the day before. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I don't know because it no longer exists. Put it this way. One of my most recent videos I mentioned. Watch the shift that's going to happen between February 9th and the 14th. Well, I didn't even realize it was all about the hugest energy harvesting event there could be over the weekend. Literally. And nobody even realizes it. But that's okay, because while everybody's caught into that, I will be watching for what's really happening. Literally. Like, this is facts. So, guys, if let me get back to the topic of inner work, because that'll take me down and everybody in a rabbit hole that you guys aren't ready for, maybe. But anyway, inner work. You cannot tap into the power of your being if you have all of these fucking holes everywhere. What gives you these holes is all of these emotional reactions that are stored in your being. Why? Because during all of these harmful stamping of whatever experience it was, in order for you to survive it, because it is in total contradiction to your soul, your body had to release a part of your soul to allow DMT to be produced in your brain for you to endure the experience. So inner work is just the first thing you got to do. Because every time you clear out all these memories and you do the inner work, well, it's not over then. Then what you have to do is you have to call back every piece of your soul that you ever released during every painful, traumatic episode that you've ever encountered in your life. Literally. But you can't do that unless you patch the holes. What are the holes? Well, they are the holes that every time your body literally had to release a part of its soul so you could survive whatever it is you had to live. Those are the holes that get created. And if you don't go and do the inner work to face what created those holes, you can't patch them. And then you cannot embody your full power if you're flooded with holes. It doesn't work like that. You're not going to pour 4 liters of water into a pitcher that's got a fucking strainer at the bottom. Right? Defeats the purpose. So the inner work is about patching the holes so that you can be a solid vessel for the power of your being. If you're not complete and whole, well, then you can't hold your power. Because as you are right now, well, that power is being flooded into a strainer unless you've done the work. This is why it's so important for people to do the inner work. And I really hope it makes sense to you now. Because unless you're walking around like I am today, you are a strainer. And you are leaking your power to everything but you. Literally. That's when you have to say, oh, well, why would I be doing this? Because that was the biggest awakening for me too. Even before I was fully tapped in. Going, oh my God, really, I am. Yes, I get it now. Now I understand why I'm guided to be doing the work. Okay, I get it. I get it. Because I've always been very tapped into my intuition and very spiritual and very powerful way before I tapped into Source. I had to reconstruct my being in order to hold the power completely. It didn't just happen. Well, that's what makes me different on the planet. And that's why I'm on a mission this year to put at least 1 million people back into their power. How? By teaching them what they need to do it. I've lived it. I didn't get signed up to some course to teach me how to do this. Trust me, I've tried. And you know why I didn't succeed? Because I didn't have the money, I didn't have the funding, and nobody felt that I was worthy enough of a scholarship. And I could list the names for you now that are claiming that they want to change the world. Bullshit. They want to claim the souls and the dreams and the lives of many. Well, I'm here to stop all that shit. Boom. Done. And I'll remind you guys, the knowledge that I have is not from a book. I'll tell you that. And if there's any book I'm going to tap into, it's the Akashic Records. Because that's the only book that interests me. Factually. But I also won't sit here and become a slave to the system to pay me for knowledge. That's what makes me different. Simple as that, because we all have it. And I don't need to make $1 million off the back of anybody. I want 1 million lives changed this year. That's my interest. Because the way I see it is, if they all gave me $1, I'd be a millionaire. But you know what? Factually, I don't give a fuck, because my energy is worth trillions on the planet. Especially now. Because that's their true currency. Everybody thinks it's money, money, money. No, it's not. It's energy. And wherever you're putting your focus, you are paying your energy. No matter what it is. That's how people can harvest off you. By your own free will. By the way you address and pay your energy out to everything. Being a strainer for your power instead of being firm and solid in your being. Because money is not the true currency on this planet. It's not. And what does rich really mean? Well, it's when you've realized that and imagined and created your heaven. That's all it is. But you can't do that if you're not solid in your skin and in your full power. I don't care who you are. Because now I know the difference. And I have for a while. And that's why I'm out here trying to teach everybody else about it. Because this knowledge is free. No matter who refused me entrance to any certification on the planet, I have more knowledge than they do right now. Factually. And I have more power than they do also. Because I'm not feeding the system. Okay? So, y'all need to decide where you want to be in your own skin. Because I'm not following no mass of anything. Or how anybody else is doing it. Because I don't see anybody else in their full power like me. Because if they were, they would have done a lot more than what they've done. Trust that. I don't need to be out here flashing nothing. And you know what I was told the other day? Well, Tobi, unless you can produce millions to back your manifestation, you don't mean too much in the world. Oh yeah, fuck this world. I'm about to shift it. Trust that. Because my truest currency is my energy. And that shit can't be bought. Not even by millions. Because what I hold is worth more than any and all the money on the planet right now. Literally. So am I worried? No. Do I need a certification? No. Even more so, you know, I was worried about coming out here doing this shit without my NLP certification until Source said, fuck that. And you wouldn't think he would say, the consciousness would say that? You know why? Because I'm about to prove to the world also that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to learn anything. Factually. And I was also told, hey, once I certify you, there is not another living organism that can't. And the only certification you need is from me, and you have graduated, and you've earned your degree. So you're past a certification. So, I'd like everybody on the planet to be in this point. You know what could be created just by thought alone? You know what would happen if I could get 10 other people into the same power that I'm in right now? You know what we could manifest sitting in a vision circle? Like, anyway, if you want to do the inner work, like somebody asked me, how do you do it? You don't do it alone. You reach out to me to help you. That's what you do. But if you really want to insist on tackling it alone, I highly suggest you don't. Because unless you understand the magnitude of what you're doing, like I had to research to be able to free my own self, don't tackle it alone because you don't know what you're up against. I know what you're up against. Especially living the hell that I have all my life. There is no situation, circumstance, or scenario that you could be living in your life that I don't have an answer for. Where would that answer come from? Source. That I'm tapped into and guided by every day, every moment of the day, primarily. I'm not running on anybody else's installed program of how you should correct yourself. That's the difference with me. Every person is individual. Well, I feel energy, I read energy, and I am a very powerful energy. So what you can't identify in you, I can identify in you. Whether you're ready to face it or not, I will be truthful with you. That's the benefit of having me in your corner. I'm not going to sit there and tell you, okay, well, you must do it like this and just keep paying me for it. No. I want you in your power. I want every single person on the planet in their power. But if you've got a lot of shit harmful already that's fucking you up already to the point where you're sick, you're feeling everything but the power of your soul, well, you need to get me to help you. That's not a joke. Everybody's, scared, shy, and listen, you know what? I've done it all. I've done it all. There's nothing that you could come to me with that I have not done. I've done it all. The only thing that I haven't done in my life, literally, is shoot drugs. That's the only thing I haven't done. But I have done so much drugs that I have been told, thank you for the stars. Thank you for the stars. But I'll tell you something. The magnitude of drugs, chemical drugs that I have done in my life, that I did just to cope, medical doctors believe that I'd be brain dead from it. I'm the farthest thing from brain dead. Okay? Do not tackle things on your own. You are not meant to, especially if they have driven you into a state where you are not well now. You do not do it alone. Because unless you have done the research, like I have, and studied and studied and studied, you do not do it alone. Ever. You seek the help that can guide you through it. And I can guarantee you it will not be a medical doctor, because they couldn't help me either. This is why people are out here coaching. This is why people are out here offering services. We can offer them till the cows come home. Unless you don't, listen, if you want to stay feeling the way you're feeling, keep doing it. Because me, I couldn't do that. It almost killed me time and time and time and time and time again. And every time I needed help, I couldn't get it. I was forced to do it on my own. So not only did I have to live the life I had to live, but I had to relive it correcting it. Down to the core, so that I could fix myself, so that I could hold my soul power, so that I could actually stay in this experience. Okay? I'm coming from a totally different dynamic. And there is nothing that the energy of your being will hide from me. So the things that you may think are not affecting you, I can easily identify in you. All you got to do is open your mouth. 5-minute conversation with me. And I got a map for you to figure that shit out. Guaranteed. But it's up to you. It's just like all these books I put out. And just like all of these, the investment of my time and energy that I sit out here flooding the world with knowledge. It's up to you guys what you do with it. I already have the knowledge. I'm already tapped in. I'm already healed. If you notice, even my face in the most recent videos is moving again. This is not a joke. And I tell you, from the other day when I said that my face is going to be full functioning in the next month, it is going to be. People, it is a mere simple choice. That's all it is. And if you believe that it's more than that, well, I'm here to tell you, you need my help. More than you realize it. Well, you know where to find me. Same place I've been offering you guys help for months. Everybody says, oh, I want that kind of connection to source, and I want that kind of knowledge. Well, are you willing to walk the fire like I did to get it? That's what makes me and you different. Not only did I walk the fire, I had to walk it another 7 times to get to this kind of connection. So, hey, are you even willing to walk the fire once? Or has your life been too hard? I don't think so. So, I love the question about the inner work, but don't be thinking, don't think because you're brave on the road or in your life that you're going to be that ready for inner work, because you won't be. Inner work will cripple you if you are not prepared for it. It will send you into complete, listen, you know what inner work is like? Perfect depiction for you of what inner work is like. It's like a caterpillar going from caterpillar to butterfly. The inner work is the cocoon part. Absolute chaos before it can break out of that cocoon. That's what inner work is. That's why you need people that are experts in it to guide you and to help you through your inner work. I couldn't have done it without the research that I did. So, unless you guys are prepared to put in 20 years of research, like I have, to get to the point that I have, well then, I just highly suggest you get on board with working with me and I can help you. Or do you believe yourself not to be worth it enough? Because I believe you're worth it enough. I'm out here preaching to the world every day about it. So I think every human being is worth it enough. But it's up to you whether you decide you're worth it or not. And that's got nothing to do with me, because everybody's got free will and I've done the work. And trust me when I tell you I love where I am sitting from. You know why? Because I see through masks. And I can handle anything coming my way. And that there is a peace within me that cannot be touched or disturbed by anything external outside of me, no matter what I'm living. I have a clear head. I know what is coming at me at all times. All times. I'm not stuck in chaos or conflict. No. My interactions are powerful, clear, and intentional. I know that I can design whatever I want in my reality today. And nothing but. Well, I encourage everybody to be the same way. Instead of living by the effects of their life and not being accountable that they are the cause of that, I don't do that. I cause the effects in my life because according to the laws of the universe that I govern my life on, well, things don't just happen for no reason. There is a cause to all effect. So any effect you're feeling from your life is you are causing it. Well, you have to be the cause of your correction also. Simple. Because you're accountable either way. You're accountable to your growth or you're accountable to your demise, whatever you choose. It's not for me to do. Me, I'm about to get younger. Factually every day. My new creation of my being every day is being rejuvenated. That's what's going on with Tobi. Complete ultimate healing where I was told it would be impossible. Well, no, the power of the universe makes all possible. But it's a choice for you whether you want to stay stuck in your internal programming or you want to shift that and tap into your innate power that's already functioning your life, that's already fueling your every thought, your choice, your word, your decision, every action, everything. But I guarantee you, whatever you choose, you will, the power behind those choices is the whole power of the universe, whether you're tapped into it consciously or not. So, I'm grateful for the question about the inner work and what should you do to prepare for inner work. I only have one answer to that. Book some time with me. Because if you're not aware of what you're up against, you need a pro to help you through it. Well, there's no more of an expert than me right now on the planet. So guess what? Reach out. Because it doesn't matter what system anybody's running on. I'm running on Source's system. So if you want real drastic changes, I can show you how to do it. I can walk you through it. And I can also be your support system that you are going to highly need during the many phases of inner work. Because you guys can't think this is just okay, dive into it. This is a commitment you got to make to yourself. Because it's a process. And when you start scratching the surface, man, the shit that comes up is going to blow your mind. Well, I'm prepared for whatever's going to come up in you. Whereas you're not. And if you haven't lived what I've lived, well, then you're a piece of cake to help correct. Simple. And even the ones that have lived the magnitude of what I've lived, hey, I'm a pro. There's not another pro at saving life. Yeah, people have had situations, but people haven't had to come back from death 7 times after the life I've had to live and still come out the way I have. There is no more living proof on the planet right now than me of tapping into soul power. That's what makes me different. Because that's what I'm out here doing. I'm not out here pitching you to manifest wealth, to manifest anything you want. I'm out here telling you that working with me will shift you from your internal programming to your innate power. Factually. And if you want to know how to do it, you reach out. Plenty of options. And honestly, this is the way I look at it, you know. If I can positively shift 1 million people this year back into their innate power, and everybody gave me $1, well, I make $1 million this year. So, if you got $1 in your pocket and you want to get in your power, reach out. Sending blessings. Gotta go. Miriam, thank you for the stars. I love that you were here. But seriously, you got $1 in your pocket? Well, reach out. Because I want everybody back in their power this year. So my mission is unlike another's on the planet. Because from your innate power, you can do anything you want. You want $1 million? You can have it. You want the dream car? You can have it. You want the proper relationship? You can have it. You want the prime health? You can have it. You can have absolutely, absolutely anything that you want from this point in power. Literally. So I'm grateful for the question about what do you do for inner work. You reach out to me and don't fucking try to do it alone. Because if you've had a problem with drugs, if you've had a problem with alcohol, if you've had a problem with acceptance in your life at all, it's going to push you right back to drugs. It's going to push you right back to alcohol. How do I know? Because my own inner work pushed me right back there myself because I didn't have the support. So that also took me a little longer to get through. And this is why support during inner work is so mandatory. How do I know? Because my own inner work pushed me back. Right back into a state of confusion, right back into a state of chaos, right back into doing drugs again, right back into drinking again because I couldn't cope and I didn't have any support. So that's why I don't encourage anybody to do it alone. You don't have to. And if you can't find time on my schedule to book because my schedule is booked, whatever, send me a message. Because it could very possibly be that you only need one conversation with me, or you could need 20. But whatever it is, I'm willing to put in the time and the effort. If you are. But me, I'm not pushing myself on nobody. And that's why I haven't come out here and offered any programs or courses or whatever. I figure, you know what? If people want the real change, they're going to reach out to me. I'm not forcing any change on anybody. If they don't want this power for themselves, they don't want anything for themselves. It's as simple as that. Very much so. So, either way, it doesn't matter to me. Me, I've done the work. Me, I'm about to build my empire. Me, I'm about to shift the planet. Because now I know it's possible. And nothing's going to stop me. So, I'm going to shift the planet. So, you either get on board with your healing process and become a whole healed individual where I show you how to step into your power and create absolutely anything you want in your life. But before creation of the new, you must destroy the old. And that's where you need me, because you need some support doing it. Well, I will help you demolish the old by giving the support and the guided, prompted exercises that you need for targeted inner work. It's not a joke when I tell people to go get my books, especially the new ones, the revised, that have the workbooks attached. Yo, you don't want to work on me with one-on-one because you're shy? Well, guess what? If I don't have any shame about the life I've lived, well, nobody should feel any shame when they're talking to me either. But if you feel too shy and you feel that you want to stay behind the scenes and try to do it yourself, I highly suggest you go get my books. The new revised copies with the workbooks in the back. I'm not out here playing around with anybody or the world. If you want real change, go invest in the change. If you don't have the pocket money to get my books, message me. I will fucking email them to you for free. Because I'm interested in change. Yeah, I need money. Everybody needs money in this fuck shit world. But guess what? It's all good if you don't have it. Because I know what it's like to want change in my life. And for everybody to lock me out of being able to have that capacity for myself because I didn't have the money. That's what makes me different. That's why I was forced to do all of this on my own. Because everywhere that I reached out for help and assistance and for programs and for support, even with my marks being who they were, what they are, and everything I've done in life, I was still fucking barred from all these great places because I didn't have the money. Well, I'm not leaving anybody out in the cold because of money. I know what that feels like too. I don't care who you are. But I hate to say it, the ones with the most money are the ones that need the most help right now. Why? Because people acquire things outside of them to fill the holes that life has left within them. And yeah, You're not broken, but you're like a strainer for your energy until you've patched all those holes. It's unavoidable. Because these harmful situations have left holes in us. Literally. Because our soul has had to release a little piece of itself to produce DMT so that our body could withstand it. Well, you got to go back and fix this stuff within you intentionally for healing. But you do need a safe space and a reliable person that you can trust who has done the work already. Not somebody who's been programmed to help you. No. Who hasn't done their internal healing yet and they are running on a program. No. No, you don't. You want somebody who's healed, whole, complete, powerful to assist you to become the same way. Well, I'm certified by the Most High and the source creation of the whole universe to do what I'm doing today. So everything that I invested in myself to get me to where I have been, to where I am right now, has been worth it. And I may not have had the money to invest to speed up the process, but the knowledge that I've acquired certainly can't be taken from me. And that's why a lot of people say, you know, Tobi, by coming out doing this for free, you're ruining your pockets, you're ruining your bank. You know what? No, I'm not. Because there are so many out there that need the help that are getting locked away from it because they don't have the money. Imagine somebody like me was. By many, many, many people. Yeah. Well, I'm not leaving anybody out in the cold because nobody deserves to be in the cold. And the source of all creation loves every part of creation. There are no favorites. We're all loved equally. We are all equals, whether you have billions of dollars in the bank or whether you are broke. And I will say it I'll say it too. I have met more interesting men who were living in cardboard boxes than driving Beamers. Okay? So yeah, the bling doesn't impress me. Neither does money, and neither does any of that. And I'm not going to refuse anybody help that they need because of money. What you can't pay me, trust me when I tell you, Source pays me in more ways than you could ever know. So I'm willing to help you if you need it. Just reach out, book some time with me. That's all you got to do. You got to take your first step towards it. But you got to be ready for it. Really. And all that is a simple choice. What's the choice? Okay, do I want to stay in my internal programming? Or do I want to step into my full power? It's the only thing you got to ask yourself. What's your brain going to tell you? Your brain's going to tell you, oh, it's just easier to operate it on the programming because I'm functioning all your organs and all of your systems, and I just, law of least effort, I'm just going to do what's easiest for you right now, and I'm going to keep you like that. Or if you're living in your heart, you're going to be like, yeah, I want my full fucking power. How do I get it? Because you're connected to it all the time. You woke up today. It's only you that's stopping you from it. So I can show you how to clear that path. But first, yes, there's steps you got to take. You got to see what the hell is harming you first. Then you got to identify it and allow your body to go through it again. With some real support while you do that. and some real guided ways to help you correct. Because you don't just do it once and think it's corrected. No, there's some intense shit you need to do. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you what all needs to be done. If you want to work with me, you reach out. And it could take you a week and it could take you a year. But if you invest in yourself, I'm willing to invest with you. That's it. That's up to you. And no, there's nobody that I will refuse. I don't care who you are. And I don't care who you think you've been in my life. And I don't care what situation you think we've had or nothing. Because none of that no longer exists. It doesn't, not in me anyway. So the only place that resides is in your own being. But if you want your help to get into your power, no matter what your name is, I can help you. Factually. And yes, I will be the first one to say it. Do not attempt to do the inner work alone because you will fucking destroy yourself. Literally. Because with the amplification of the energetic influence, you don't want to be opening Pandora's box by yourself. Especially if you're not trained to play in there. Well, I'm mastered to play in there. So I can show you how to do it. I love you all. Have a great afternoon. But no, don't go try to do that shit by yourself. I put years of investment into self-isolation to master myself. You know how monks go to these places and sit in silence for a month and to really master their own being? Been there, done that. Total isolation for more than periods of a year. So you know what? It's all good. It really is. It's all good. So I love y'all. Have a great day. I love the question. But when you realize that everything that you have stored in your brain is supposed to be a mere memory bank of experience with zero anything else attached to it, well, you're going to want to correct the cleanup of all of these things that, well, can you look back at your life and talk about absolutely anything and everything freely and openly without it affecting you? Because if you can't, well, that's to the magnitude you need to fix it. How do I know? Because we all think, oh yeah, we've dealt with something until you speak about it. Talk about it. See what happens to you. Talk about any situation in your life that you think you've healed from or you've gotten over without working through it. I dare you. Because then you're going to see how bad you need to do the work. Because the minute you start talking about it and recalling it, if there's any emotion that is attached to it, you're still harmed by it. Simple. Yeah, well, I'm off to have a magical afternoon. So much so, I'm feeling to jump on the Pineapple Express train. Ha! Love you all. Have a great day. Peace.